Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Valenciano. Thank you very much, ang Provinciano family and Tita Gary, for that wonderful, heartfelt song and tribute to Tita Susan's life. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ria. I'm a friend of Brian's, the grandson of Tita Susan, and he asked me to host tonight's tribute. And what an honor it truly is to be able to pay my respects and tribute to one of the icons and the kindest people and kindest souls of our industry. We gather to remember the little things that made a special place in our heart. To remember those happy times when we laughed and those times when our hearts broke as one. For who could put a price on memories? We gather to share the pain. To hurt when you hurt without presuming that our pain is the same. To cry when you cry and not try to hide or avoid our tears. For tears are memories in motion. We gather to give you the gift of grief, to stand beside you in silence and not be uncomfortable with your tears, to allow you the gift of mourning this loss and not lose patience. For grief is nature's way of healing a broken heart. We are here tonight to remember and celebrate the life of Tita Susan Roces. It is our hope that every part of this service and the services in the days to come will honor the beautiful life that she lived among us. Let me express the family's gratitude for your presence. The journey of grief is long, and those who walk in it should not have to walk in it alone. In times like these, nothing takes the place of friends and family. So know that your presence helps their family realize how valuable Tita Susan was to others and show what an impact her living and dying has made. We honor a woman who touched many lives in many ways. Tonight, we will stop to hear the stories, to laugh and cry together once again, and to acknowledge that we are different because Tita Susan lived among us. So from a beautiful video tribute and song, allow me to call on someone whom she spent majority of her time in Ang Provinciano with. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on Mr. Jaime Fabregas.
Thank you, Ria. Hindi pa ako nag-uumpisa niyan. Nung nabalitaan namin na pumanaw si Tita Susan, lahat kami nabigla because we had no inkling. We saw her as aside from the problem with the back, she was healthy. So we really didn't expect it. So we were devastated, in other words. So, what can I say about Tita Susan? I remember we spoke. This was before the pandemic. When the pandemic started, she didn't come out anymore. She didn't come taping with us. She would tape from her house with Jeffrey doing the hard part. But I remember her talking to her, and she told me once, she said, kinausap ako ni Grace. Sabi niya, bakit para ako nagtatrabaho? Sabi niya, bakit ka pa nagte-taping, ma'am? Hindi mo na kailangan yan. Komportable ka na, alam mo. Hindi mo kailangan gawin yan. Ba't ka pa nagtatrabaho? Sabi niya sa akin, ano naman ang gagawin ko, Jaime? Magmumukmuk sa bahay. Niya. Itong trabahong ito, sabi niya, ang nagbigay sa akin ng maraming kabutihan. Itong trabaho ito, dito sa trabaho ito, nakilala ko si Rani. Alam mo, hindi ito trabaho na pwede mo lang tapusin ng ganon-ganon. You know? So habang may lakas ako, sabi niya, ipagpapatuloy ko ang aking trabaho. And that was something that what I saw here was a person who loved her work so much that she was not willing to give it up. And she loved the people who she worked with, which was the most important thing. Palagi yung pagdarating sa set yon, magtatanong, may call ba ngayon si Tita Su? Meron. Naku, ano naman kaya dadalhin niya? Kasi palagi siyang may pasalubong para sa lahat. Usually pagkain. You know? Pero palagi siyang may pasalubong, ma-ice candy yan, may mamanggayan, kung ano man yan. Palagi siyang may... And everybody gets it. Walang pinipili. She treated everyone the same way, whether Coco Martin ka, na big star ka, or utility man ka. She treated everybody the same way. And that is something that I admire in her. And I remember Mr. Po was also like that. Yeah. So I am so proud to have been given the opportunity to work with the king and the queen of Philippine cinema. And she will be missed, as we all miss Mr. Po. She will be greatly missed. She left behind many grandchildren. Nandito sila, Onyok. Of course, the real grandkids are here. She left behind children from all walks of life. And she left behind brothers and sisters. It will be very difficult to have another Susan Roces again in our lives. And so, Tita Sue, although we will miss you, we say Godspeed. Rest in God's eternal peace. And before you know it, we will probably see each other again. Thank you, Tita Sue, for the love.
To treat everyone the same way, regardless of status. To love and embrace our work beyond what it is, and to be grateful for all the good things our work brings into our lives. Thank you, Rivera, for that beautiful song and tribute. I hope we do find comfort and solace knowing na hiram lang talaga ang buhay natin sa Diyos. And what a truly beautiful life Tita Susan lived. Like Tito Jaime said, she had a great relationship that goes beyond just her co-actors. She treated everybody equally and with so much love. And another testament to this would be her director for Ang Provinciano. Please allow me to introduce Direk Malu Sevilla.
Magandang gabi po. Hello? Yeah. Allow me to read. I'm sorry. I just don't want to miss out. This was, sa Ang Provinciano ko unang nakatrabaho si Tita Susan. And being the most senior director, I got dibs to direct our queen. Sobra akong nervyos. Sobra akong nervyos kasi si Susan Roces siya. And I felt like, baka hindi ako enough. Baka hindi ko magawa yung dapat kong gawin kasi si Susan Roces siya. So when she arrived in her white van, kabang-kaba na talaga ako kasi, oh my God, there she is. So, but that very beginning, when we started working, she never made me feel who she was. Isa siyang, I guess sabi nga ni Tito Jimmy, that's how she loved her craft and the industry. She was an actress, and she was a soldier, and she was soldiering on, and willing to cooperate with us and collaborate with us to create the scenes in Ang Provinciano. So, to say that she was my favorite is an understatement. I loved her deeply. And to me, siya yung totoong leading lady ng show namin. I'm not going to say much. I just want to share how wonderful it is to have known and worked with Tita Sue. All of us feel this way. And hindi naman niya talaga kailangan mag-work, but she loved her craft. And so much that she gave us this beautiful gift and honor of being able to work with her. Thank you to the family for sharing her with us. Hindi yan naubusan ng energy sa taping. She brought her own spotlight with her whenever she would arrive. On and off cam, nag-glow yan. Ang dami naming, it was a joy just to be beside her. Ang dami naming sharings ng mga kwento, may pagkamarites, chismisan, ang dami namin yan. We'd talk about our little talks in between takes. We'd talk about Negros, we'd talk about her love life, and all of the movies she made. We'd talk about you, Ma'am Grace, no, all beautiful things. About everything, really. And I will miss directing her and learning from her. And I will also miss her corny jokes. She has terribly corny jokes. And her laughter na parang bata pag tumawa, nakatikat pa yung bibig. And all the baons that she would bring to the set. Yung van niya po, 1/3 nun costumes, 2/3 mga pasalubong niya sa amin. The night before, papahanda na niya yan. Yung ice candy, yung frozen langka, whatever fruits were in season, kropek, you name it, dala niya yan. Kaya minsan hindi niya na ma-memorize yung script kasi busy siya handa ng pasalubong sa amin. Pero okay lang, pag hindi niya na ma-memorize yung scenes, yung lines niya, she says her own words. And it always comes out better. The way she says it, because she puts her heart into every scene and in every line that she says. And I will never forget that about her. I haven't seen her in 2 years. We were separated during the shoot. But we always think about her. We always talk about her sa set. Pinagkukwentuhan namin siya. And we will always have her in our hearts. And I wish a younger generation had the same great fortune of working with her, with the Susan Roces. But I guess she wanted her honeymoon already with her great love, the king. Lola Flora, mahal ka namin. Mula po sa iyong pamilya sa ABS-CBN at sa FPJ Sang Probinsyano, maraming salamat po at hindi ka namin malilimutan. Salamat po.
Thank you, Direk Malu, for sharing a glimpse of what a joy it was to be working with her, the passion she had. So up next, we have From Sisters in a Film to a Lifelong Relationship, a queen honoring a queen. Ladies and gentlemen, the megastar, Ms. Sharon Cuneta.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Grace, our deepest condolences. Parang the past couple of years have taken away so many of our loved ones. Some by COVID, some not. And especially in the past year, parang hindi pa ako tapos na mag-mourn for a loved one. May susunod at may susunod at may susunod. Not 2 weeks ago, one of my best friends, Tita Fanny Serrano, passed away. So I've still been in mourning for another kind of loss also. And then when I heard about Tita Swani's passing, di pa rin ako makatingin sa kanya. Nakakalungkot po para sa mga tulad naming kilala ng personal ang pamilyang Poe. Napaka-blessed namin to have been somehow a part of your parents' lives and yours too in a way. Pero my heart is really bleeding for this industry that Tita Susan loved so much and that I have loved so much. Nalulungkot ako dahil isang poste na naman ng industriya ang nawala. Kumbaga sa Star Wars, ito yung Last of the Jedi Knights. Siguro marami pong di nakakaalam ng aming history ng pamilya po. Nung pinanganak ko po si Casey noong 1985, naging ninong po niya si Tito Ronnie. Tapos, hindi pa kami naging magkaibigan noon. Kasi syempre, dadating yung hari. Medyo, but he was just the humblest, the most humble person I met. And then in 1988, I was given the chance to work with the queen of Philippine movies. And nakasama ko na po ang ibang mga tunay na reyna rin, sila Tita Gloria Romero, tapos yung mga yumaon na pong sila Tita Nida Blanca, naging mami ko na po sa pelikula, ganon din si Tita Nena. Tapos, si Tita Susan po yung magkapatid kami. So we were together in most of the scenes in the movie By One, Take One. And that was when I started, oh my God, this is a real movie queen. And it breaks my heart na ang isa sa mga naging huwaran ko bilang artista at tao ay nawala nga na naman. Noong 1990 po, I was so blessed, very, very blessed to do a movie with FPJ, yung kahit konting pagtingin. That was talagang when my relationship with their family was strengthened. Because your mom and I, we used to talk on the phone during By One Take One and after, and then especially after, kahit during and kahit after kahit konting pagtingin. And we would talk about personal stuff. It wasn't just me. She would also open up to me. And all those things I've kept here, never repeated to a single soul. And she was the one that told me I was a wood snake. I didn't know anything about Chinese astrology then. And when I worked with your dad, he instantly, well, not really instantly kasi intimidated ako, but he made me feel so at ease. Again, your mom and dad were two of the most humble people I've ever met in my lifetime. They set examples and lived by example. They did not have to tell me anything. Doon ko nakita na ang mga pinakamalalaki na artista, ang siya pang pinakamapagkumbaba, pinakamatulungin, pinakamahal na nakapaligid sa kanila. So talagang, your dad became my best friend. And alam niya nila The Boy, alam lang nila Bong, nila Jay, alam nila. And of course, you know, our nickname for each other was Klatput. Nandun din po ako nung kinasal si Grace. Parang, nung nagdepo po si Casey, syempre ninong niya, tsaka Tita Susan nandoon. And then, I'm sure you hate it now as well, Senator Grace, yung mundo ng politika that always seems to just enter and live my life at the most inopportune times. No, of course, I would have loved to campaign for your dad when he ran for president. Because in 1992, your father and I campaigned for Danding Coangco. We went around the Philippines, spent so much time together just making kwento, campaigning. Talo kami, pero masaya kami. Dahil magkakasama kami. Tapos naging barkada ko sila Kaloy, sila Susan Tagle. And then, we made another movie in 1994. Again, we became closer. Siyang nagturo kay Casey maglaro ng tong its ba o pusoy. Na after a while, sabi niya, Klat po, tinatalo na talaga ako. Kasi sinasama ko sa shooting si Casey. We shot where the lahar affected Pampanga. And then when we came back, kasi there was another eruption, when we came back, yung pinagshootingan namin, natakpan na naman. This was the second movie na. So all these moments we shared. And then I would have movies like with The Boy, with Robin, and your dad would come and visit me on set. And then, alam na ng director noon, Direk Eddie Rodriguez, both movies. Pack up na to pag nandyan si manager, ganyan sila. So I became close kahit sa mga kasama niya. Yan, sila Kaloy nga, sila Susan Tagle, his right hand. And then, because politics entered the picture, I felt like it was such a big blessing because I didn't realize that I would hold on to your dad's words the last time I spoke to him. in the coming years of my life. The last being very recently, especially. His voice, I can still hear his voice, and the words really hit me and are embedded in my memory. On election day in 2004, I called him. I was pregnant with Miel. And buti na lang Susan Tagle was with him. Beside him in the car, he was in the car. And I said, Sansu, where's Clatpot? Can I talk to him? He's right here beside me. He'll call you daw. So he called me. Your dad said to me, I said, Clatpot. I started crying because I missed him so much. No? I said, Clatpot, I hate this. Ganyan, politics. And he said, exact words, Clatpot, it's just politics. When all of this is over, we'll still be friends. And I love you very much. And you take care of your baby. Don't worry about anything. Then I gave birth to Miel in September. By December, I went to St. Luke's, pinching his toes. Of course, this was after years of friendship with both your mom and dad. Now we would talk on the phone, especially your dad and I, constantly. Sometimes he would, once I was taping a music video in ABS-CBN for my show, he called me at like midnight. I was still in the middle of it. And I said, sabi niya, Clatpot, punta ka dito, nasaan ka? ABS-CBN po. Punta ka dito, malapit lang sa Santo Domingo, so malapit lang dyan. I'm working, Clatpot. Sandali lang, ilang minutes lang, sige na. Kung ba't kaya? Sabi ko, so nagpaalam ako, umalis ako sandali. This was past midnight na. You know, pinapunta niya ako sa isang sari-sari store na wala ng tao, gabi na. Umiinom siya ng beer niya. Sabi niya doon sa nagtitinda, sabi sa'yo nanay, kilala ko sa Sharon Cuneta, kaya ko papuntahin yan dito. Sabi niya ganon. Si FPJ po ito. It was so humbling, always very honest. Minsan tatawag yan, Clatpot, kahit mga 1 in the morning, you're still awake? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Tapos sabihin niya, you have food? No. Oh, let's go, wait, baka intercon still open, ganon. Ayoko minsan, kasi pag umpisa ng daddy mo mag-beer, kahit nakapikit yan, pag tumayo ka, saan ka pupunta? Kahit sino yung nasa table, di namin alam paano niya nakikita. So anyway, Clatpot stuck, the closest friends I have in showbiz, all my protectors, my bodyguards, Kuya Ipe, Kuya Pipo, Michael De Mesa, The Boy, Jinggoy, they all call me Clatpot. Okay? Up to now, sila Kuya Pipo, yan sila Mike. Kasi once po, nagsushoot kami ng kahit konting pagtingin na eksenang nasa tubuhan kami at naka-wedding gown ako. Kaya ang tawag sa akin ni Grace Georgia. Sabi niya, tinitignan niya yung araw kasi magdamag na kami nagsushoot. Sabi niya, umaakit na yung Clatpot. Sabi ko, what? Umaakit na yung Clatpot. Sabi niya kay Papa Pablo Santiago, what's that? No, it can stand for anything. You know, it can stand for whatever. Parang tumaakit ng araw in that case. Clatpot. From that day on, we called each other Clatpot. So, when he passed away nga, I arrived I was still, Miel was 3 months old. And this was before Frankie's birthday. Kuya Marty Guzman Cruz called me because every night I would check when he was in the ICU na. When finally, Kuya Mar, I got a text. I couldn't sleep. And I got a text. I saw Kuya Mar's name. I said, oh my God, don't let it be bad news. Of course, I had to read it. And it said he had passed. So 4 in the morning, I went to the funeral parlor. Was the only one there with Susan Tagle again and Kuya Mar. And I called your mom. Then she said, Shawi, wala nang Clatpot mo. All these memories, all the, parang from the happiest of times to the saddest. So, like I said, my heart bleeds for the industry kasi parang hindi na nila makakasama ang mami at daddy mo sa kahit anong proyekto. Nung nakuha ako ni Coco for probinsyano, pinag-uusapan namin to ni Coco. Yung one morning daw, di siya makatulog, it just entered his head. Sharon. Sabi ko, baka pinapaalala ko sa'yo. And then, whenever I would do my first few scenes, alam ni Direk Maluito, who's still my director in Provinciano, my first few scenes in Provinciano, ang pagkailangan kong umiyak, tinutugtog nila yung duet namin ng daddy mo. Kasi feeling ko, Clatput, I think you brought me here. So I would always imagine him standing in one corner, no? And smiling because I was in his project. And sabi nga ni Coco, di niya alam bakit. Bigla niyang naisip yung pangalan ko. So, nagawan niya ako ng story agad. Nag-Zoom meeting. Ako, ang tagal ko nang hinihintay gumes dyan, sabi ko. So, of course, I was excited. So, pagka mag-shoot na kami, tutugtog yung, kumusta ka? Na. I would hear his voice and just start crying. Then I would imagine him just standing there. Kung saan kami? You're here, no? Gaganon ako. Nakausap ko siya. I will also never forget Grace when my mother died in 2014. I hadn't seen your mom in such a long time. And you came with her to my mommy's wake. Being here means to me. And do you remember what she said? She said, Shawi, your family. You will always be family. We are here. Don't forget that. That's what she told me. What a loving, selfless family. When Grace was running for senator again, although she didn't need it, she didn't need more support, she had everybody's support. I couldn't not be part of that campaign. So I wasn't able to do it for your dad. So, in my own little way, kahit isa lang, sabi ko, so in Provinciano now, when I would see her, pag pinanonood ko yung mga tinake namin, yung scenes niya, ay makikita rin kami Tita Susan. Sana natutuwa siya, nakikita niya nandito ako. And then sadly, I never got to see her. But Grace, you will also always be family to me. Please know that. Your father's words, especially in these last elections, I really dislike. Thank you. Sorry. This is one thing I could not emulate from Tita Susan. What she named her daughter, Grace. Because I'm always emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve. But that was your mother, the embodiment of grace. So collected, so always so queenly. Her serene highness, like Princess Grace. Oh, when I went to Boston, because Kiko was going to take his master's in Harvard, your mom was the one that told me where to go because Grace had gone to Boston College, where later on I enrolled naman in the College of Advancing Studies. Father Woods. That's the night school. Your mom was the one that said, go to this restaurant, Chow Chow. She told me that. She was telling me where to go. Go to this restaurant, Clatput, and ganyan. So your mommy was Miss Susan Roces, Ate Salve to my Sean in Buy One, Take One. She was Mama Swani, and she will always be family. You will always be family. I know the day will come, Grace, that maybe if not for you, maybe for any of your kids, I would be able to show how much your family means to me. So you have a sister in me anytime. I know she's happy now with Tito Ronnie. Glad po that. Hi, Mama Swani. They're probably with my mom and dad also now. They were such good people. Sana ang bagong henerasyon ng mga artista, kasi napakahirap maging movie queen. Lalo na sa henerasyong after ng generation ng mama mo. parang mas kailangan ang mga reyna at mga hari sa showbiz maging magandang impluwensya. Hindi lang sa mga mas batang artista, kundi sa lahat ng taong tumitingala sa kanila. In this day and age, it's not always easy. Because you see, there's lack of respect, there's lack of, for lack of a better word, values, you know. Moral compass is somehow damaged. So, it's hard to live up to the queen that your mom was and always will be. But I hope that they will always be here guiding us that they left behind in the ways na gusto nilang maimpluwensyahan ang mga bagong artista at mga taong tumitingala sa kanila. Sana ganun din kaming lahat, lalo na yung mga bago. But I feel bad for them. They will never get to experience working with your mom or your dad anymore. And I feel so blessed and singled out somehow. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Nakasama ko sila at napalapit ako sa kanila. So to the Poe family, and to Tita Susan's family also, our deepest condolences. And there are only a few true queens in this business. Tita Susan left maybe a rule book for wannabe Jedis to follow. Our deepest condolences to your family, all of you, and to all her loved ones and friends. And we will try our best. Our generation in show business will try our best to pass on what we've learned from your dad and mom to the new generation of actors. And I hope that these actors pass on what we've learned. So we hope to uphold that and honor their legacies. Thank you so much, and God bless you and your family always. Tita Susan, I love you, Mama Swanee. Still as beautiful as ever. We miss you already. Your Majesty.
To live life in humility in spite of your status. Truly, our industry bleeds knowing that we've lost another icon in Tita Susan. Thank you, Ms. Sharon, for giving us a glimpse of what your relationship with her was like. So from somebody who played her sister, we now move on from somebody who played her grandson and the last few things that she did. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on Mr. Coco Martin.
Honestly, hindi ko talaga alam kung anong sasabihin ko ngayon. Talagang shock ang nararamdaman ko kasi hindi ako makapaniwala na mangyayari to dahil alalang-alala ko yung huling pagkikita namin ni Tita Su na ang lakas-lakas niya, ang saya-saya niya. Siya yung nagbibigay sa amin ng inspirasyon para ipagpatuloy namin ang probinsyano. Dahil lagi niya sinasabi na nakakapagbigay kami ng ligaya at inspirasyon sa bawat Pilipino. Ang akala ko, ang isa sa pinakamasakit na mararanasan ko sa industriyang to nung namatay si Tito Eddie. Para kaming napilayan kasi nga lolo namin yun eh. Parang hindi namin nakalain sa habang ongoing pa rin yung probinsyano, kahit hindi na namin siya kasama ng mga oras na yun, ang sakit para sa amin. Kasi sobra namin siyang inalagaan, sobra namin binavalue kung ano yung na-contribute niya sa industriya. And then, ngayon, hindi ko akalain na ang isa sa mga pinaka espesyal at malapit na malapit sa buhay ko, lagpas sa trabahong to, ay mangyayari yung bagay na to. Kasi si Tita Susan, hindi ko siya katrabaho. Hindi katrabaho lang ang tingin ko sa kanya. Malalim yung pagtingin at pagmamahalan at respeto namin sa bawat isa. Paminsan-minsan, alam ko, nagtatampo siya sa akin. Nang hindi ko alam kung anong dahilan, pero iniisip ko na lang siguro, baka may nagawa akong mali, di ba? Baka yumayabang ako, o baka hindi ko na siya napupuntahan sa tent niya para kamustahin, bisitahin. Hindi ko alam. Isa lang ang masasabi ko. Sobrang takot po ako sa kanya. I'm sure kagaya ni Bryan. Kasi po, si Tita Susan, napaka-strong na tao. Napakatapang. Alam naman po natin yung ginawa niya, di ba? Binangga. Kahit sino pa yan. Ganun niyang katapang, walang sinasanto, basta alam niyang tama ang kanyang pinaglalaban at totoo ang kanyang sinasabi. Kaya, lahat po ng mga sinasabi niya, dinidibdib po namin. Kasi para po sa amin na mga katrabaho niya at ako bilang apo niya sa industriya, sa lahat ng mga artistang kasama ko, directors, sa lahat ng crew staff, yung word of wisdom na sinasabi niya po sa amin ay totoong tumatatak sa isip at sa puso po naming lahat. Dahil napakapalad po namin na nakatrabaho po namin siya. Kasi alam niya lahat eh. Pinagdaanan niya na yan. Naaalala ko po nung una kami magkatrabaho sa walang hanggan. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, 2012 po yun. Hindi namin alam, kagaya po ni Direk Malu, kung paano namin siya haharapin kasi queen. Hindi namin alam kung paano approach ang gagawin namin. Ako po nagtatago sa isang tabi, hindi ko alam paano ako magpapakilala, paano po ako lalapit sa kanya. Hanggang sa napansin ko na parang siya po mismo yung lumalapit sa mga tao para maging komportable kayo sa kanya. Lagi po siya nagdadala ng pagkain para po sa lahat. Aalamin niya kung anong paborito mo. Kahit po sa bahay, padadalan po kayo niya ng paborito mong pagkain. Magandang gabi po, Mr. President. At pagkatapos po nun nakatrabaho ko na po si Tita Susan sa walang hanggan, dahan-dahan na po naging komportable po ang loob ko sa kanya. Kasi hindi po niya pinaramdam sa amin na siya ang Queen of the Philippine Cinema. Siya po ang asawa ng hari ng Pelikulang Pilipino. Ang pinaramdam po niya sa amin ay isang pamilya at lola po naming lahat. Hanggang naging komportable po ako. Halos maya't maya, lagi po ako nandun sa kwarto niya nakikipagkwentuhan. Lahat ng kwento niya mula nung bata siya, hanggang nung mag-artista siya, hanggang sa na mag-asawa siya, hanggang sa nawala sa FPJ, lahat po yun kinukwento at sinishare niya po sa akin. Pero isa lang po ang nilapit ko sa kanya. Kasi nakikita niya na hindi ako komportable bilang artista. Kasi sinasabi ko, pag nakakita na ako ng medyo sosyal, pag nakakita ko na nag-uusap sila, nag-i-Inglesan na, para ako natsuchope. Kasi nga po, alam naman ng lahat yun na hindi ako marunong talaga mag-English. Kaya sabi po sa akin ng aking lola, hindi importante ang pag-i-English at hindi yun ang magiging batayan para respetuhin ka ng tao. Ang importante ay marunong kang humarap sa tao na may dignidad. Ang importante ay totoo ang sinasabi mo at nasa puso mo. Ang mas mahirap ay ang hindi ka marunong magtagalog dahil nasa Pilipinas ka, hindi ka magkakapera. At naniwala po ako doon. Kaya po mula noon talaga naging sobrang tight kami. Talaga pong kung meron akong baon, naluto ng lola ko, dadalan ko po siya, siya po, dadalan niya rin po ako. Ganun po. Siya po ang nagturo sa akin ng hard work. At ang hindi ko po makakalimutan na tinuro sa akin ni Tita Susan ay mahalin ang kumpanya na pinagtatrabahuan ko. Dahil yung kumpanya pinagtatrabahuan po namin ang nagbibigay ng trabaho sa maraming tao. Siguro po, dahil isa rin siyang producer, Kaya alam niya yung pakiramdam na dapat suklian mo yung ibinibigay sa'yo. At yung pakikipagkapwa mo sa kapwa-artista mo, maging maliit man yan, maging superstar man yan, dapat pantay-pantay. Yun po yung values na itinuro sa amin ni Tita Susan. At sa lahat po ng mga katrabaho niya, mapabata, matanda, mapaveteran actors, lahat po kami sa probinsyano at kahit sa walang hanggan, nagmamahalan dahil po sa values na tinuro po sa amin ni Tita Susan Roces. At yun po ang hindi ko makakalimutan sa tanang ng buhay ko, na bit-bit ko po hanggang ngayon. Kaya, kung nasan ka man po ngayon, gusto ko pong malaman mo na lahat po kami na nandito ay sobrang mahal na mahal ka po namin at hindi ka po namin makakalimutan habang buhay. I love you. Thank you po.
To stand up for what is right regardless of what you face, to stand up for what you believe in. That you face people with dignity and truth always. Na hindi kailangan maging magaling sa Ingles para maging mabuting tao. Napakaswerte mong naging apo kanya, Coco. Now allow me to call another testament of how Tita Susan built relationships and friendships beyond work, regardless of status, and how she loved the company she worked for. Please allow me to call on one of our bosses in ABS-CBN, Ms. Cory Vidanes.
Good evening. Hello. Gracie, our deepest sympathies. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. In behalf of all my bosses in ABS, Mark and Carlo, we would like to thank Tita Susan. Tita Susan, maraming salamat na pinagkatiwala mo sa amin ang FPJs ang probinsyano. Marami po tayong napaligaya, Tita Susan, dahil you allowed us and you trusted us to do FPJs ang probinsyano. As we said, Senator Grace, kayo po ng mami mo, we were able to inspire, we were able to bring joy, hope, and share the love with so many Filipinos all over the world na nanunood po sa ang probinsyano gabi-gabi for more than 6 years now. Naging katuwang, kasama at kapamilya natin. At dahil po yun sa inyo, Sen. Grace, and of course, our dear Tita Susan. It was an honor to work with your mom, but even more to know her as a person. She was so beautiful, but more beautiful inside. She taught us many lessons, Gracie. She was a strong woman, but very kind, compassionate, and loving. She had many words of wisdom, advice, guidance for everybody. Nasabi nga ni Coco, ang dami-daming naming natutunan sa kanya. Icon siya, so nasa starstruck din po ako sa kanya. Nung panahon ng Vilma, Nora, Amalia, Susan, I would tell Tita Susan, talagang forever Susan ako from maliit pa ako. And to work with her in ABS was really a big blessing for me and for everybody in ABS. Si Tita Susan, very, very professional, hardworking. You know, she was just looking for competence in everybody she worked with. Sabi nga ni Coco, natatakot. Oo, natatakot kami, but very appreciative because she taught us lessons na kailangan namin to be and give our best consistently in everything we do because that was what Tita Susan was to us. Everything she did well. She did excellently. So, she was our role model. She was not just an icon, she was a kapamilya. So, Tita Susan, Gracie, thank you for sharing your mom with us. You know, during the pandemic po, I would text and call Tita Dolor. and ask her if Tita Susan, if I can talk to Tita Susan. And Tita Susan would always give me the time. I would call her in her landline. Konti na lang po ang may landline ngayon. Swerte, meron din ako, so nakakausap ko siya sa landline. And, you know, I would always talk to her, update her on story development, new casts that are coming into Provinciano. I told her about Julia, about Sharon. Lahat po, pinapaalam ko kay Tita Susan. Siya po ang kapitan ng aming barko. Siya ang aming boss. And more than that, I would always tell her, Tita Susan, may extension po ulit ang Provinciano. Hindi na po siya naniniwala kasi palagi, pag tumatawag po ako, nakailang extension na po kami. Ang bilin lang niya, Cory, make sure lang na never lumaylay ang kwento nyo, ang kwento natin, dahil tayo ang kinakapitan ng mamamayang Pilipino. So I said, I promise, Tita Susan. And then she goes on to say, Cory, kung hindi nyo na ako kailangan, okay lang. Pwede nyo na akong alisin. And I would say, Tita Susan, no, no, no way. Why? Because I explained to her. She is the moral compass of Cardo. She is the moral compass of the show. Diba? The values that she stands for as Lola Flora is what the Filipino need at this time. Hope, resilience, strong faith in God, and sharing the love with everybody. So, Tita Susan, mahal, sorry. Hindi, sorry po, emotional lang talaga. Tita Susan was a mother, a friend, a kapamilya. She respected us all. Despite being up there, she was the queen of Philippine movies. She was a legend in the industry. Kami naman servants lang of the people. But she showed so much appreciation, love, and gratefulness. And we will forever treasure your love, Tita Susan. Mahal na mahal ka namin. Nila Coco, Dreamscape, ABS, Carla Mark. Mamimiss ko mga tawag ko sa inyo. Wala na akong tatawagan sa landline ngayon. Just that, Tita Susan, wag mong paring mamayang gabi. Baka biglang mag-ring. I love you, Tita Susan. I love you so much. And thank you for being a blessing, not just to ABS, but to the Filipino people and sa ating inang bayan. Maraming salamat.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Unang-una po, nais kong pasalamatan ang lahat ng mga naririto. Si President Joseph Estrada, ang aking mga kasama sa Senado, syempre ang escort ni President Joseph, ang kanyang anak na ang bagong senador, Senator Jinggoy. Nandito rin ang nanay namin sa Senado, si Tita Cynthia, Senator Cynthia Villar. Ang barkada ko sa Senado, Senator Sani Angara at ang kanyang pamilya. Kanina nandito si Senator Win. Anyway, actually hindi naman ako dapat magsasalita ngayon sapagkat sa huling araw na dapat. Pero hindi ko pwedeng palagpasin ang pagkakataon na ito na sabihin sa pamilya ng probinsyano na ako ang magpapasalamat sa inyo. Sapagkat sa tingin ko, pinahaba niyo yung buhay ng nanay ko. Dahil nung namayapa si FPJ, talagang malungkot na siya eh. Pero ayaw naman niya siguro na ipakita ang kanyang kahinaan dahil alam niya lahat kami nakadepende sa kanyang lakas. Pero nakikita ko na tuwing magkakaroon ng taping, doon siya nabubuhayan. Masayang-masaya siyang kasama kayo. Kaya Coco, pag nagtatampo sa'yo, isa lang ang kahulugan nun. Mahalaga ka sa kanya. Kasi siya, pag wala kang halaga sa kanya, wala kang epekto sa kanya. Magtatampo lang yun kasi katulad ng nararamdaman niya, pagka hindi ko siya pinupuntahan o kinakausap, nagtatampo rin yan sa akin. Totoo yung sinabi ni, I think it was Tito Jaime, who said that supposedly I told my mom, bakit ka pa nagtatrabaho? Kasi aminin na natin na sa industriya, marami ring mga hamon. Hindi ganon, kahit masaya siya, syempre, nakakaramdam na siya ng pagod, di ba? Minsan, ang tagal maghintay, ganon talaga, di ba? Lilipat na naman sa ibang location, but yung mga parang ganon, naiinis ka na pero gusto mo pa naman. So, minsan, naiinis na rin ako. Sinabi ko sa kanya, why are you still doing this? Huwag ka nang magtrabaho. You don't really need to. Hindi, ganito, ganyan. Alam ko naman kasi gusto niya. So, nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, in the first few months, she was actually happy about it because that was the first time in her life, siguro, that she didn't feel an obligation to do something and to work. Remember, she's been working since she was 14 years old. So she always felt compelled to do something, pandemic. So, nasa bahay lang siya, nagligpit siya kung ano-anong ginawa niya. Pero sa tingin ko, nalungkot siya na hindi siya makatrabaho, hindi siya makasama yung mga katrabaho niya. To the point na, sasabihin ko na to, tinawagan ko na si Cory. Sabi ko, Cory, I think you have to get my mom to work again. Na akong nagsasabing wag nang magtrabaho, ako na mismo nagsabi, kailangan ischedule siya. Kasi nakita ko talaga, humina at lumungkot. So sa mga kasama niya sa trabaho, lahat kayo ay naging napakahalaga sa kanya. Kaya siya nagdadala ng pagkain. Kasi she likes to see that she can make you happy. No, Deo, thank you for giving also my mom a chance. Carlo, when you were embattled, she was praying for you and for the entire company, not for anything else, but she knows that so many depended on the company. That's why she also felt this was the time that she needed to be with you because you're embattled, but then she couldn't. So for everybody from Provinciano who gave my mom the time, talked to her, spent time with her, thank you so much. That's why today is not just you thanking her, I'd like to thank you. Because kung walang Provinciano, babantayan niya ako araw-araw. Maraming salamat po.
Good evening, everyone. Nung natanggap ko yung balita tungkol kay Tita Susan, we were actually celebrating Cory Vidanes' birthday. And the very first person that I texted, nung medyo pumasok na sa isip at sa puso ko na, that we lost a queen, was Direk Roel Santiago. And I asked him, bro, how are you guys? At ang sabi niya, siyempre, the whole cast was shocked. At meron silang pinakinggan na isa sa mga awit ko, isa sa mga kanta ko, na sa palagay ko, maliban sa nakapagbigay ng inspirasyon sa kanila, naging perfect reflection of who this woman was and who this woman will forever be in our hearts and in our memories. And I think it's confirmed tonight with what you spoke about, Grace. So I'd like to sing this song that the entire cast was listening to. I spoke to Tirso a while ago, and nung binanggit niya sa akin ang kanta na to, parang nakita ko yung encouragement sa kanya nung binanggit ko na pwede ko rin kantahin ito. So I'd like to sing this song for the cast and for all of those who have been truly impacted by such a wonderful person, not just a wonderful artist, but a wonderful person.